one of the talking points will be about not just Ben Stokes, but we felt, I know, Joy, we were talking earlier, Adil Rashid plus Moeen Ali had already completed 10 overs. So it looked like you were okay to park them for those 10 overs and bowl everyone else. And Ben Stokes, technically, who could be your fifth bowler, was bowling the best of all. And yet, Adil Rashid got a couple more overs, got hit yet again, and Stokes is sitting there, 8 overs, 1 maiden, 3 for 34.
Yeah, and you know what I find even more paradoxical? You ended up bowling for 4 hours and 12 minutes. So it's not as if you were trying to save the over rate out here. Your over rate is way out. Okay, there are a couple of injuries, but even if you take those injuries out, the over rate was way, way, way off. And I think Michael's made that point that it's clearly maybe teams are not used to fielding 50 overs. They're just slower between overs. That's happening. It's catching up. 20 over cricket and just being fit for 50 overs to run around is not happening. But yeah, if you're not doing that, how on God's earth do you bring them back when Stokes is bowled smartly at that period in time is something I just do not understand.
Yeah, I know you briefly mentioned, Michael. The other theory was that it was the split webbing. He was getting a bit worried about how he'd fetch the wallets to be able to pay his part of the match fee. But it's something that has to be done. It's just that percentage of a match fee is not enough, is it?
No, I mean, to be honest, I'm sick and tired of mentioning over rates, and it doesn't really matter which format. Test match cricket, the over rates are appalling. We saw it in the T20 series that's just gone, and now 4 hours, 12 minutes to bowl 50 overs. Okay, there's injuries. Okay, there's DRS, but I'm sorry, it's just taking too long, and I'm actually sick and tired. And many, ex-players like myself, who are pundits, we speak out about it quite a lot, but the ICC just turn a blind eye. It's almost as if they're not bothered, but it's hurting the game because 4 hours and 12 minutes for 50 overs. I've got a little lad who's watching it and he gets bored and he's a cricket nut. It's like, come on, Dad, they need to get on with this. And I think it's down to the ICC and also the players that are playing the game now to understand that we need it to be quickened up. It's not diluting the process of the actual performance because they're all very good. It's just in between overs. I don't think there's enough activity. Certainly, as you mentioned, the fines don't work because the players don't bat an eyelid for a 20% fine. Not bothered, they earn so much anyway, it doesn't really hurt them. There's two things. I think they have to bring in the runs per over. So England should have been penalised today. I don't know how many overs that are worked out that they were over, but they should be penalised. So that score should potentially be 20 or 30 more by adding more runs because they've been over the overs. I'd also look at putting a big digital clock in the corner of the ground, and as soon as the first ball is bowled, click, it starts, and you've got your allotted time, and every time there's a break, you press stop, so the players know exactly the kind of time they've got to bowl the overs in. And there just needs to be more penalties other than a percentage of your match fee. It has to hurt more on that given day to the performance of the team because, as I said, it's just taking too long. And the ICC and the BCCI and the ECB will probably enjoy the fact of putting a big clock in the side of the ground because they can get it sponsored, and you know what? They can earn a few more quid. So that's perfect. They earn a few more quid. The players understand what the time frame is, and you know what? If you don't bowl your overs inside that time frame, you're penalised by runs, so it hurts you on that day, not by charging them a few grand. They've got that many pockets and that many grands in the pocket that just using one to pay off one fine, it's not going to hurt them. So get a big clock, get a stopwatch, get the game moving forward.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of all the watch companies, Joy.
No, absolutely. I think the Eden Gardens did have that. I don't know if the relationship still exists, but they had a top watch manufacturer put in a nice big clock for the ground. And of course, it's a sponsored clock. But again, the only problem here, what's happening, Michael, is that if it belongs to the stadium, the ICC or the IPL will not show it that often because it often conflicts with their own sponsors. So it's all these... Yeah, so all these things happen. So below a certain height belongs to the ICC or the IPL or whoever has the rights. Above that belongs to the stadium. So very often you'll see, as I said, they try not to show above that because those are the local sponsors, those are the sponsors the stadium sell. But I'm sure, I think yours is a fantastic idea, and also the fact of that it needs to stop during a break. So they actually, which the third umpire should control, he should say, okay, stop the clock now. Correct. And those are the kind of things that will make a difference. It will really, really make a difference to the game. There's no reason not to have done it. Football has done it. We now know extra time, how many minutes are being added over all the time. Why can't they do it in cricket?
The best thing that could happen, Joy, and it's when you get players that get injured and they take a time out the game and they have to do what we do. You sit at home and you watch it on the television, and you ask those players, and they go, "It takes a long time, doesn't it? It's quite boring. It's slow." Absolutely, and you're playing. So when you get back to being fit and back in the team, push your teammates on. It's so important that the players that are playing the game as we speak now understand the importance of the product that comes through the TV screen. You know, and if it gets like it has done in the T20s, as it is doing obviously today in the 50s, it's just far too slow. Get on with the game.